Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about the latest Buthelezi interview, or Prince Buthelezi interview he did with CNBC, the Africa station of CNBC network. And Buthelezi had cleared some things up, and there was a lot I agreed with him on the interview. I didn't agree with what he said about Ramaphosa, that Ramaphosa would be capable of leading the ANC. But I do know that that's not what the party he founded, the Inkatha Freedom Party, thinks, because as soon as around 1994, they delivered a message to the white South Africans that said that Ramaphosa's idea is to try to appease the whites, like putting a frog in boiling water, where first it's just at room temperature, and then the frog, and then so the frog doesn't know there's anything wrong, but then the boiling water gradually increases, but then the frog still can't tell the difference, and then eventually the frog dies. His party did tell white people that about Ramaphosa in 1994, and that was the party he founded, and the party he was chairman of. So I know that's not how he really feels about Ramaphosa. However, he did make a good point about 1994. He wanted South Africa to be a democratic government. The reason he originally boycotted the 1994 elections was because the Zulus have a monarchy, okay? And even today, they're allowed some form of government in the monarchy. It's not much, but it's some. And during the apartheid years, that's what they had. They had some monarchy form of government in Zululand, and Buthelezi could not get a clear answer from the African National Congress about what the status of the Zulu monarchy was going to be. And he had asked and asked and asked and couldn't get an answer. And at the last minute, he decided not to boycott the elections and to run on the IFP, or the Inkatha Freedom Party, ticket. Well, he carried Zululand. He carried the KwaZulu-Natal province. And that was a tremendous accomplishment. And a lot of the interview talked about, though, that Buthelezi was in acting. He actually did play in the 1964 film Zulu that I've mentioned in previous videos, that he played his great-grandfather, King Cetshwayo, and Stanley Baker, who was the main actor in the 1964 film. They approached Buthelezi. And Buthelezi took him around Zululand, told him everything about the Battle of Rorke's Drift and King Cetshwayo, and they saw a lot of resemblance between him and King Cetshwayo, and so they wanted to cast him. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But, okay. Buthelezi talked about how that the people of Zimbabwe got what they wanted out of the coup against Mugabe. Now, Mugabe went to, not Mugabe, excuse me. Buthelezi's party, not him, but his party went to one of the elections in Zimbabwe, not the last election, but the election before last. And their party said that the election was rigged and that the election was not fair, same as the European Union. And Buthelezi noted that. Now, Buthelezi said it was the people of Zimbabwe's business, that it wasn't his business. That the ANC said the elections were fair, but the IFP and the European Union said that the elections were not fair. And I agree with Buthelezi and the IFP on this one. I agree with the Inkatha Freedom Party. So that was very interesting as well. So it was an excellent interview by Buthelezi. Props to him for doing the interview and setting the record straight. And also Buthelezi made known that a lot of the war is in the apartheid years, particularly in the 1980s, were against the Inkatha Freedom Party, and that the ANC instigated most of the assassinations and most of the killings and most of the shootings. Now, there were times where individual Inkatha Freedom Party members knocked off ANC members, and sometimes the ANC members that they knocked off didn't provoke anything or do anything, but that wasn't party orders. There were actually Inkatha Freedom Party meetings that specifically ordered their members not to do that. And it was Inkatha Freedom Party policy. And Buthelezi was against sanctions because he thought that the people that were going to be affected the most by sanctions were black South Africans, and he didn't want to see his people starve. And also, he didn't take complete independence from apartheid South Africa like the Transkei region did, because he saw himself as a South African citizen. He just wanted equal rights just like the white population. He didn't want to break off from South Africa. He wanted to make South Africa better. So, anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye bye. Bye bye.